Welcome viewers once again to another TV box stop presentation. Today I have a surprising little TV box from the Beelink brand, and many of you have been asking for a review on this TV box and it has finally arrived. Presenting, the Beelink GT1 Mini, Amlogic S905X2 quad-core Android 4K TV box. Beelink is known to produce some of the best optimized TV boxes in the industry, and today you are going to watch this little TV box do something incredible I didn't thought was possible. So stay tuned, you have more after this. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. I would like to thank the people over at GearVita.com for sending this product for today's review. They are currently running some great deals on some of the best brands, so be sure to check them out. So to get started, let's look at the box it's packed and shipped in. The box is professionally well labeled, and there's some information on both sides. To the back you have some specifications. To the top here you have some dimensions, and it shows that the box is small, just 77 by 17 mm. The CPU is the S905X2 quad-core Cortex A53. Its display, which I believe is the Mali G31, produces 4K display at 60 frames per second on an HDMI 2.0 port. It comes in 4 different RAM and storage configurations. A 2GB 32GB, 3GB 32GB, 4GB 32GB, and 4GB 64GB. This box is the 4GB 64GB model. It comes with dual-band 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi support with Ethernet LAN speed up to 1000 megabits per second. The Bluetooth version is not indicated here, so I will check that out in the System and Hardware Information section. There is some ports information below here, but I will show that in just a second. So I will now do a quick unboxing. In the box, you have the Beelink Mini TV box itself. You get a wireless omnidirectional Bluetooth voice remote control and dongle. This is great news and is a better option than an infrared remote. However, it doesn't have an air mouse feature. You get one HDMI cable, a 5 volts 2 amps power adapter, and a user's manual. Let's take a look at its design and its input-output ports. The body is made of plastic with the Beelink logo printed to the top. To the back, you have one HDMI port, one Ethernet LAN port, you have one audio-video port, and a power input. To the side, you have one USB 3.0 ports, one USB 2.0, and a MicroSD card reader. It's blank on the other side. To the front, you have an LED power light. And to the bottom, you have a few ventilation holes. So I will connect it to my TV and continue with the review. So I have connected the box, and when you boot up for the first time what you will see is the Beelink logo and the boot up animation for a couple of seconds. Then you're taken to a quick setup wizard. Once completed, you're taken to the launcher. So here we are at the launcher, and for those of you who are familiar with the Beelink line of TV boxes, you would know that this is their flagship launcher used in most of their products. The launcher has a simple design with large main buttons that cannot be changed, and to the side here you have a shortcuts column for adding shortcuts by simply clicking on the add button and selecting or deselecting which app you would like to add or remove. The launcher comes with a navigation bar and notifications bar for easy navigation and multitasking, and it also comes with a one-click cleanup button for freeing up system resources. If you press the menu button on the remote, it grants you the ability to change the background wallpaper. Upon starting the box for the first time, once you connect to the internet you will be prompted to perform a firmware update, which is great. If you don't get a prompt or you clicked away by accident, you can always update from the settings area like this. I completed at least 2 back-to-back updates. In the Apps section, they have included a set of standard apps like App Installer, Chrome Browser, Google Play Store, and a couple of media players and file browsers. So I will pause the video to install some apps needed to complete my review. So I'm back, and I've installed all my apps. To start this segment, I will first check to see if we can run alternative launchers on this box. I will start with the ADW Launcher 2, then the Eevee Launcher, followed by the Nova Launcher. The ADW launcher and the Eevee launcher worked great. However, the Nova launcher installed, but the drag and drop feature is not working. Next, I will check to see if screen rotation works on this box. This is for users who want to use their screen in vertical portrait mode. Screen rotation works fine on this box, but remember you have to enable the auto rotate switch in the display settings for it to work. I will now check to see if the box is rooted. It shows that the box is rooted, running on Android 8.1 Oreo operating system. This feature grants you the freedom to install any app from the Google Play Store, or sideloaded apps via APK downloads without restrictions. The only setback with root access is that it limits the DRM permissions for Netflix to show in HD and 4K quality. I would also like to remind you not to install the Super User app and try to update the box, because it will crash your box and put it into a permanent boot loop that requires a firmware update to restore it. I now show the DRM information. The results show that the box has support for Google Widevine Level 3 and no HDCP protection. This means that Netflix will only show in standard quality, regardless of what package you are paying for. You will need Google Widevine Level 1 for Netflix to show in HD and 4K quality, and that can only be provided by a certified developer. Let's look at its system and hardware information. The manufacturer of this box is AZW, and the model is the GT1 Mini. It comes with 4 GB of RAM, which is DDR4 memory, and this is the remainder of the storage from the 64 GB after the Android installation and all the apps I have installed. The Bluetooth version here is 4+, which indicates that the Bluetooth version is 4.1. The CPU is a 64-bit Cortex A53 quad-core CPU running up to 1.8 GHz in 32-bit mode. Below here it shows that the box has support for only 32-bit ABIs, allowing it to run only 32-bit applications and access up to 4 GB of RAM. The GPU is the single-core Mali G31 graphics processor, with a refresh rate of 60 Hz and OpenGLES version 3.2, which is good for gaming. Under Network, it shows that the box has dual-band 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi support. Under Android information, it shows that the operating system is Android 8.1 Oreo, and it also shows that the box is rooted. Under thermal information, it shows that the box runs between 40 to 50 degrees Celsius under normal room temperature, and this can rise up to 60 degrees under heavy activity. The box comes with codecs for playing 4K videos like HEVC, H.264 and VP9 decoding, and a couple of others, all needed for the playback of 4K media. And that's it for system and hardware information, and now let's take a look at some benchmarks. First, I have the results from the A1 SD Bench app that measures RAM and internal storage read and write speeds. The results show that the Beelink GT1 Mini has a RAM copy speed of 3512 MB per second. The internal storage has a read speed of 125 megabytes per second and a write speed of 104. These results are slightly lower than the X96 Max in my previous review. And now I have the results of the Wi-Fi speed test. The results show that the Beelink GT1 Mini has very good Wi-Fi and LAN speed connection. It was able to hit the maximum download and upload speed of my internet package of 60 megabytes on all connections. Next I have the results of the Antutu benchmark. In this test the box scored 60,230. This is a good score, it scored higher than the X96 Max in my previous video. Next I have the results of the Geekbench 4 CPU benchmark. In this test the box scored 736 single-core and 2,183 multi-core. Again the score here being higher than the X96 Max. The final benchmark is the Ice Storm Extreme and the Slingshot GPU benchmark. The Beelink GT1 Mini got a score of 5,153 in the Ice Storm Extreme test, and 516 in the Slingshot test. This score is on par with the X96 Max. This means that it is supposed to be a good gamer because the X96 Max was also, and I will test this hypothesis in just a moment. And that's it for the benchmarks. I will now focus my attention on the entertainment features of the box. First, I will open Netflix to see what's the highest movie playback quality we can get. From a movie product description we can see that there is no HD symbol to the top here, and my Netflix subscription is an HD account. So this means that you can only play Netflix in standard quality on this box. Next, I will play a high-resolution YouTube video sample to see what's the highest quality we can get. YouTube plays up to 4K quality on this box, and here is the stats for nerds information. In the settings area you have another settings called Droid settings. Under Droid settings you have the display settings. Then under screen resolution, you have the Dolby Vision settings. If you enable Dolby Vision, you then get the option to select the Dolby Graphics priority between video and graphics. Also under Droid settings you have the audio output settings. In this section you have the digital audio format settings and the digital sounds output option. I will now play some 4K video samples. The samples played okay, even the difficult jellyfish video at 400 megabits per second bitrate. The only video that had some issues was the Cambodia video in MKV format with some jerky playback. For those of you who are interested in casting or sharing content in real time from your cell phone or tablet directly to your TV, I have installed the AirScreen app. This app consists of Miracast, Chromecast, AirPlay, and DNLA. So I will now share my cell phone via Miracast. So Miracast works fine on this box and there's very little lag in the response. Beelink has included a wireless voice remote in your purchase, which is great, but we have only seen these remotes work well in boxes running Android TV OS with the Google Assistant feature. In the full version of Android, you sometimes have to click on the microphone button in a search field to access a voice search feature and not directly from the remote. So let's see how Beelink applies the voice search feature in this box. 2019 Top Android TV Boxes.
Here's a summary from Snapgoods. 15 Best Android TV Boxes in 2019. Best Android TV Boxes Amazon. Best Android TV Boxes for Netflix. Best Android TV Boxes for gaming, and Best Android TV Boxes for streaming.
The voice search feature works the same way as it does in the boxes running Android TV OS, which means you don't necessarily need Android TV to get voice search and voice commands feature. Now play some Android games to test its 3D graphics performance, and for gamepad keymapping capability. The games ran really well, with smooth handling on the Mali G31 GPU. You also have gamepad keymapping capability. So in summary, in the latest line of S905X2 TV boxes released for 2019, the Beelink GT1 Mini has propelled to the top of the list, and the reason for this is the Beelink launcher and interface is better than that of the X96 Max. Also, the Antutu benchmark edged out the X96 Max by a couple hundred points, and the other benchmarks were on par with the X96 Max. Let's look at the pros. The box is the smallest of the S905X2 line. The model featured in this video has 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of internal storage. The CPU is clocked at 1.8 GHz. The GPU is the Mali G31. You have dual-band Wi-Fi, you have Ethernet LAN speed of 1000 megabits per second, and Bluetooth 4.1. The box is rooted. The launcher has a navigation bar and notifications bar. You have firmware updates. You can use alternative launchers. The screen can rotate to portrait mode. You have voice search and voice commands via the included voice remote. Netflix installs and plays directly from the Google Play Store. Kodi and streaming APKs work perfectly. 4K video playback is good. Miracast on the AirScreen app works well. YouTube plays in 4K quality. You have good 3D gaming and gamepad keymapping functionality. The benchmark scores are the highest among boxes carrying similar specs. And the box operates within safe operating temperatures. On the downside, the DRM Google Widevine Level 3 isn't enough for Netflix to play in HD or 4K quality. It only has 2 USB ports, one of which is always occupied by the voice remote dongle, and one of the 4K video samples had some issues. As I conclude this review of the Beelink GT1 Mini, I would like to add that I am really impressed with the performance of this little TV box compared to similar models. I am recommending this box as a great little high-end TV box to buy, and it can be even called the best in its class. If you are looking for the 4GB 64GB model featured in this video, GearVita.com is offering this model at a reduced price with the provided coupon code, so see the links in the description area while stocks last. Thanks for watching my video. If you would like to help grow my channel, be sure to share it on social media platforms, and to be notified when the next great TV box review is released, hit the subscribe button and the little notifications bell, for more TV box stop videos.